In Tibetan Buddhism, we respect sponsors very much. Lamas all have great sponsors. The greater the Lama, or how much the Lama can achieve, is dependent on the sponsorship. And when the sponsors are there, they have a title. They call in Tibetan Jinda, or literally in English sponsor, but it doesn't have a negative connotation. Why? In Tibetan Buddhism, Lamas can only move forward by sponsorship. How many sponsors that the sponsor has, and how long the sponsors stay, and how much they do is dependent on the Lama's assistants and attendants. If the Lama's assistants and attendants show themselves well and talk well, are good, professional, many sponsors will come. Sponsors can be attracted to the Lama and maintained by only the the Lama's assistants and students. Likewise, sponsors can be scared away by the students. It's all dependent on the students. So when you have one set of students running around the Lama, you see if they grow. If you have another set of attendants running around the Lama, you see if they grow. Then you check, how can the Lama grow this time, don't grow this time? With this group, grow. With this group, don't grow. Why? Because it's dependent on the students around the Lama. So the students are evil and angry and judgmental and fighting and always defensive and always poor me, then definitely no sponsors, no one will come. The Lama cannot grow, no matter how great he is. If the students around them practice, have enthusiasm, push themselves, and are kind, and really, even if they get angry and whatever, they have difficulties, they bounce back quickly, then more students and more sponsors will come. Why? If I'm a monster, none of you would take refuge in Buddha. If the Dalai Lama was a living monster, no one would even listen to the Buddha. No one. No one. So, I'm not the Buddha, but I'm the student of the Buddha. And therefore, if the students act well on behalf of the teacher, then there will be more students. If the students act funny on behalf of the teacher, don't know how to do things, don't know how to do rituals, don't know how to do black tea, don't know how to do talk, always forget, don't want to learn, lazy, make excuses, then people come and say, oh, I don't need that because I have that in my normal life. If we're greedy, we're not generous, we don't want to give, we always make excuses, and we always cover for our greediness and miserliness, why would people want to donate to us? Because they don't see you donating. Why? Why? If you're not patient, and you don't have enthusiasm, and you don't push yourself, why would anybody push themselves? You think just build a great center, build a big property, and just disappear, Dharma will grow? No. No. The Buddha didn't even build hard structures. He had huts and banana leaves and all that for the rainy season. Otherwise, he wandered in the forests. No, all these don't help. It is your attendance and your Dharma practice and your direct effort to transform your mind and you becoming more kinder, more patient, developing enthusiasm, and you being generous and giving. That's what will attract other people to come. If you don't do that, why should other people do that? If you're unstable all the time, why would your Lama attract people who are stable to help? Because you're unstable, you disappoint other people, they don't want to get involved. They say, hey, I don't want to get involved with that instability. I've got enough in my life. So if your Lama's organization and ladrong and house and place is filled with angry people, vengeful people, and people who are unreliable and always messing up things, always excuses, why would new people join? Because that's what they see. So people ask you what's going on, you say, I don't know. Well, those people say, I don't know, see you later too. So if you're always angry, if you come to a student's house and the Lama's always screaming away at some monster student, they'll say, look, there's a monster Lama, a monster student. It's okay, I'll go back to my samsara. I'm very happy they're being, not have to deal with this. Why? How you look, even how you smell. Who wants to be around smelly Buddhists? Who wants to be? You got bad breath, smelly, oily, dirty, unkept. Your house is smelly and dirty, unkept. You don't care. Even other Dharma students you live with, you're smelly, you're dirty, you're nasty, you don't care. Outside, oh, Dharma, Dharma, Rinpoche, Rinpoche. Inside, you're a pig, you're a slob. You don't clean up. You don't show respect to your Dharma brothers and sisters. Even when the toilet paper run out, you don't want to buy toilet paper. You wait for the other person to buy it. If you're this type of person, how do you expect to spread the Dharma? There are conditions to spread the Dharma. There are conditions. If you follow it, it will grow. So if you're always thinking about money, even if you're a geshe, and there are some cases of 1 or 2 rare cases, there are geshes who are after money. I've seen. I dare not say the name. They don't grow. Their students don't grow. Their organization don't grow. Why? Sooner or later, people see through. If great geshis with so much knowledge after 20 years of having a PhD in Tibetan Buddhism, and in a monastery, they're monks too, and they have motivation for money and they can't spread Dharma. What about stupid people like us? In Tibet, we have a very special status for sponsors. I realized that. I learned that from Kensei Rinpoche. We call them jinda. When a person is confirmed and says, I'm your sponsor, the sponsor doesn't just give money. The sponsor also gives emotional support to the Lama, emotional support to the group, emotional support to the Lama's entourage. The sponsors are very caring and loving. So what happens is, wherever the Lama travels, the sponsor may travel with the Lama without eliciting any jealousy from people. Why? Because of the kindness of the sponsor, everyone may have the Dharma. When the person becomes a Lama's sponsor, then the sponsor may come to the Lama's house. The sponsor may be involved in his affairs. The sponsor may talk to him about what he needs and have plans and to do this and do that. Why? They're the sponsor. And the sponsor is someone who's very devoted. The sponsor is very looked upon by everyone. And the sponsor is very respected by everyone due to their kindness in sponsoring, not for money. That their generosity to give instead of keep. And the sponsor has what we call special privileges in relations with the Lama's works. Why is that? Because they have given that much of themselves. So the Tibetans praise that, because without sponsorship, Dharma cannot grow. When Lord Buddha held out his begging bowl for the first time, it was a sign for Buddhists from now until the end of Buddhism to beg. There is no dishonor in begging. There is no shame in begging. There is no getting tired of begging. And for people being begged from who give, you shouldn't be tired of giving. You shouldn't be tired of helping. Why? When Buddha put his begging bowl out, it was a sign for us to beg. To beg makes us humble, even if you sit on a high throne. To beg makes us realize the kindness of all that we have comes from others, and to practice for their benefit. And those who give should feel honored to give. Why? Because of them, so much Dharma that they cannot do is being done for them. Whether they fully realize the benefits or not, it doesn't matter. The Lama realizes and the Lama will do for them. Again and again and again. And Lamas usually are very appreciative and very, they remember the kindness of sponsors again and again and again. And they will manifest their remembrance of that again and again. Why? Why? Not because the sponsor gave the Lama money, because the Lama can see many smiling faces. Many people who need help, financial help, emotional help, a place to go. And many organizations and departments open because of that sponsorship. And because so many people become happy, the Lama is happy. Therefore, the Lama shows the happiness to the sponsors. The Lama is not happy for himself. No Lama, no real Lama is happy for himself when he gets sponsorship because it's responsibility. Real Lamas will take the sponsorship offered to the deities, will not keep it. Will never dare to use it on their own. Never. Real Lamas will never do that. Why? They know to take money from people and not do something well with it, it is very dangerous karma, even for Lamas. Buddha didn't make an exception for Rinpoches. Everybody must follow the law of karma. No exceptions. So and the sponsor has special responsibility to also receive the Rinpoche. If the sponsor picks up the Rinpoche, that's fine. If the sponsor doesn't pick up, when the Rinpoche comes, the sponsor must go down, offer incense, and escort the Rinpoche in. If the sponsor is a monk or a nun, they'll wear the yellow hat, and they're escorted with incense, representing like 1,000 Buddhas coming. Because that hat is supposed to have 1,000 threads, representing the 1,000 Buddhas to come. So when that monk wears that hat and invites the Lama in, it's like 1,000 Buddhas are coming in the form of my Guru to give teachings. So when I went to Ganden, I wore the hat to invite His Holiness the Dalai Lama in. I'm the sponsor. on behalf of all of us. Because we can't have all of you wearing hats, can we? We look like a bunch of yellow chickens. So I escorted His Holiness in to represent all of us. And when the sponsor enters, the sponsor will make 3 prostrations on behalf of everyone and offer a kata and offer the 3 forms of long life to the Lama. And request the Lama, I sponsor you. Please turn the wheel of Dharma for everyone. And it's a great honor. Why is it a great honor? Because the Lama is doing what the sponsor cannot do. And the Lama and the sponsor, the Lama is doing what the sponsor cannot do. And the sponsor and the Lama also is doing something that the sponsor cannot do. The sponsor makes the money the Lama cannot do. Shouldn't do. And vice versa. So there's a special relationship. Once you get the title Jinda, because I saw that with Banan Rinpoche. Banan Rinpoche is a very holy Lama. His statue is inside my room. Bring it. He's here. And whenever he came to give teachings in Drepung Monastery, he would always come with a Swiss lady sponsor. She was a Tibetan lady, very gentle. She wore a chuba, she come by herself. She didn't have much family members. She would sponsor the whole teachings for 1 month or 2 months or whatever for Banan Rinpoche. This is one of my gurus, Banan Rinpoche, who I received a lot of oral transmissions from. So when Banan Rinpoche came, she would always come. She would invite him from his house. In fact, I met her and I talked to her. So she would actually fly in, make sure the prayer hall is okay, make offerings to the monks, make sure Rinpoche has his car, make sure Rinpoche has new robes, make sure he has all the necessities and everything is paid for, and even make sure that the monks are taken care of in his house. Then when she would come together in the car with Rinpoche, she was very humble. She wasn't like, oh look, I'm with Rinpoche la. Very humble. And she would come up to the monastery in front of thousands of monks, and she would offer incense, very low like that, very humble, and escort her Rinpoche, and she was very proud. Proud of what? I am so fortunate to have my Lama, and I'm so fortunate to share my Lama, and I'm so fortunate to sponsor the teachings for my Lama for all of you. And she would walk in with the incense, and the Lama would sit down. She would make 3 prostrations, make the offerings. And then she would sit down, and the monastery always had a special seat for her, because she was a sponsor. And she would be in front. That's after it was confirmed. And for the rest of Rinpoche's life, she took care of him. Anything he needed. I met her. She said, I want to build Rinpoche a house, and he keeps refusing me. In the back of my mind, I think, I won't refuse. But I already have a house. I said, why? She says, I don't know. Always he refuses me. Why? And a short while later, Rinpoche passed away. His incarnation is back. Recognized by His Holiness. She used to tell me that I met her directly. And wherever Rinpoche traveled in India or wherever, even if Rinpoche went for other teachings like Dalai Lama, she would sponsor everything. She would take care of everything. No one needed to talk or say anything. She would take care of everything. His clothes, his food, whatnot. And everybody knew, because it would say Jinda. Jinda means what? The special patron. Oh yeah, that's better. Patron of the Lama. So once the Lama gives that title to a person, it's for life. And everybody will look upon that person as a sponsor. And if the sponsor is alright, and the sponsor's family is alright, and everything's alright, then they will confer the title and offer. So when the sponsor travels with Rinpoche or has a connection or does things or talks, discuss, everybody will understand what they're doing. No problem at all. And from the Rinpoche side, it makes it very easy for him to convey the Dharma to many, many people. And from the sponsor side, the sponsor does the greatest job that the sponsor can ever do. It's not just build statues and temples, but to actually sponsor the Dharma talks. They have that special relationship. And I've seen it. My father is a sponsor of Chungsa Rinpoche twice. Previous life and this life. He sponsored Chungsa Rinpoche until he became a Geshe again and did his examinations. He built a house for him. He sponsored his trips, his clothes, even Chungsa Rinpoche's previous life's items, silver and gold and butter lamps and statues. My father went personally to Tibet, brought it all out, brought it to Taiwan, and flew to Drepung Monastery in Mongot and offered to his guru again. I saw. In fact, and in the monastery, my father built a special house for Chungsa Rinpoche. So Chungsa Rinpoche would not say anything or demand or want or even nothing. My father would take care of everything. And even in Tibet, my father sponsored Trungsa Rinpoche's monastery and to rebuild his quarters because they were destroyed during the revolution. Everything's ready. And my father did it personally because my father is an ex-monk. He's an ex-monk of Drepung Monastery, student of Trungsa Rinpoche. So, and I know some Rinpoche have many sponsors. Many. How much they have, they do. So once this title is conferred and sealed, it's like that. So the sponsor supports the Rinpoche financially as much as they can, as best as they can, and they're confirmed. So the Rinpoche and the Rinpoche students know where to go to for help. So that at least the Rinpoche's Lajang is alright. So the Rinpoche's Lajang don't have to go begging. Help. Because it's very undignified to always beg for your Rinpoche's Lajang. Always ask. And a Rinpoche's Lajang is not a layman's house where you have a fixed income and fixed children and fixed expenses. A Rinpoche's Lajang expands and grows and becomes bigger. More students, more people, more jobs. So of course, sponsorship increases. Sponsor can or cannot increase, sponsorship increases. That's very logical. Why? The more they have, the more they can do. And so, there's a special relationship. But this relationship is not officially said or done. No matter how much is given or how much is said, until everything is totally clear and no obstacles. For the sponsor, especially. Until then, the Rinpoches remain quiet. And it is for the Rinpoches to announce, this is my sponsor. They sponsor this, they've given this much, they've done this. The Rinpoches will announce to the Sangha and to the people, and offer katas and say thanks. It is not for the sponsor to announce. Never. If the sponsor announces, it can be from pride, or it can create obstacles, or other people will disturb them. Because once Rinpoche says, this person's my sponsor, it is understood no one disturbs them. No one. No one asks. So the Rinpoche's personal attendants or liaisons, we say Tibetan Changsas, will go to the sponsor and say, oh, Rinpoche's traveling here, Rinpoche needs this, Rinpoche buy this. Is it alright? And discuss. Sometimes sponsors say, oh, I don't have enough to cover the budget. Then they say, no problem. It's not to say, oh, they need this, yeah, I can cover. They talk like that, they do like that. It is for the Rinpoche's own liaisons to contact the sponsors. No one else is supposed to. That's after it's signed and sealed. The sponsors never say, I sponsor. Never. Because it breaks the code of humility. And when we let people know, then one person will say, help me, another person help me, another person help me, another person help me, then the sponsors and help have a lot of problems. Because everybody needs help. Everybody needs help. And also, when you start telling other people, I do this, I do that, I do this, you also bring your Lama down. Why do you bring your Lama down? It looks very cheap. You're sponsoring for Dharma. You're not sponsoring a beauty pageant where I'm the sponsor. You're sponsoring a holy Lama for the holy Dharma. So we don't announce, we don't say, we don't send any hints, we don't tell anyone, we don't say nothing. And then once it's confirmed and it's safe, the Rinpoche will definitely announce. Definitely, that's how the tradition of Bandhan Monastery. So there's a way of doing things. But it's very hard in a foreign country outside of the Buddhist tradition because a lot of people are not bad, they don't know. They don't know. So all the Rinpoches can do is patiently and with time and lovingly explain and gently say, do like this, do like this, do like this, patiently. Even if they do things wrong, the Rinpoche swallows it. Why? They don't know. So that's how we acquire sponsorships and sponsor teaching. And also, if you want to go one step further, the sponsors also doing special talks, not these normal ones, special talks and in future special initiation. The sponsor has a great duty. The sponsor will also provide everything that Rinpoche needs ritually. It's not very expensive. But in Tibet it was, because it's hard to get. For the initiation. Also, the sponsor will provide enough space and cushions, if necessary, a tent. I mean, that's Tibet. So that people can fit. The sponsors will make sure that people will come from far away, have a place to stay. And the sponsors will also make sure that they have cushions, they have the books, they have the materials, and everything they need for the talk, for the initiation, for the Dharma teaching. Everything. And the sponsors will even make sure that the poorer members of the Rinpoche's students who are very devoted, they'll talk to the Lajang people and arrange something to help them to receive teachings. Why? Because the sponsors have found something very precious in their Lama. And they wish to spread this to many people. Why? They cannot teach. And by spreading to other people, they bring the biggest benefit to themselves and their family. Sponsorship in Tibet is not something that's painful and hard. It is an honor. And it's something people jump after. Not like, here, can you donate? Can you help? Yeah. All kind of noise. Why? They're not bad. They don't know the benefits. They don't know the benefit. So once the Lama and the sponsor have this relationship, and once they talk, the Lama will announce, this is my sponsor. Due to this person's kindness, I have this, and I can do this. Either the Lama announces or the main Changzi, the main liaison will announce. And then the main liaisons of the Lajang assistants will keep the relationship with the sponsor. While the Lamas will do meditations and prayers and do their own thing, they will take care of that. So I would like to do something like that here. That's why I don't get involved with sponsors much. Why? I don't want to disturb them. If I say, give me this, it will give them a lot of pressure. If I have my assistants do it and talk to them, if they can, they can. They cannot, no pressure. It's respect. Outwardly, it's respect. Inwardly, it's respect. No pressures. And on another stance, on a spiritual level, the Lamas are meant to do Dharma work. They're not meant to talk about money and raising funds. When we have to raise funds for a Lajang, it's quite pitiful. It's quite sad. Why? It means that Dharma teachings of the Lama is not successful. Not successful. Or the students are not successful in their practice to attract sponsorship. If the Lama is great, you gotta have the reflection of greatness what? One of them is financial capacity to grow. Is that very simple? So the sponsors, why they want to sponsor and do this? Because they have taken refuge in their Lama. That's their Lama. They want to make sure this Lama can do as much as they can in this life. So the Lama does as much Dharma as he can, and the sponsor makes as much money as they can. And they take care of the financial needs, the Lama takes care of the spiritual needs. And together like that, they live their life separately, yet together. And they meet again and again to do this. Ganjin Rinpoche had a sponsor in his previous life. And this family is still sponsoring him in this life. The father has a son, the son now is sponsoring Ganjin Rinpoche. And he does it because his father did it. So he built those huge hospitals and huge rooms and huge temples in Nepal is for that sponsor, by selling carpets. I was being sending a spy there to see how they make the carpets and we can steal the formula and I can make some money. Open a carpet factory here so I can open up something, you know? That's what it is. So if we're devoted to our Lama, we're devoted to his cause, we must make sure that the Lama and the cause of the group never talks about raising funds for at least a Lajang. No. For the organization, yes, it's okay. For the Lajang, no. That's why if the Lama is very kind to tell certain students, raise funds for this, raise funds this, raise funds, they should immediately think how to help the Lajang. Why? If we think about the Lajang, how many people does it benefit? How many people does it help? So, in short, once we make this relationship with the sponsor, it is understood from the Lama side that whatever will be discussed with the sponsor travels with the Lama when necessary. It's not like every time the Lama travels, gotta go, Lama go bedroom to toilet, the sponsor's there with incense. No, not crazy like that. Not crazy. No ridiculous like that. Yes, and then when the Lama comes, the sponsor comes. If there are 2 sponsors, 3 sponsors, all of them bring incense. Why? There's no competition. The sponsor will think the more the better. And once that's confirmed, everybody in the Sangha or in the group will not disturb the Sangha for any, or disturb the sponsor for anything ever again. Why? They know that that's taking care of your Lama. If your Lama's okay, everything's going to be okay. And who finds the sponsors is, of course, the students. What do you expect? A Lama to wear a t-shirt? I need a sponsor. Definitely not. And so, those people who have worked for the Lama during the most difficult times is a manifestation of Lama giving you a chance to collect merit. And you sponsor the Lama. Later, when you do business, your business will move on due to the merits of you serving your Lama. Definitely. Those who do not need financial help, they will gain spiritual attainments. Why? You provide the necessities for so many people to gain spiritual attainments. And remember something, this tradition doesn't come from Tibet, from Shakyamuni. It's from Shakyamuni. Every Buddhist country begs. So if we're still begging from our Guru and try to take from our Guru, we have to stop. We have to give to our Guru. If we cannot give in money or finances, we have to give in service and in more higher Dharma practice. If we still don't give money to our Guru to help in his Dharma work, finances, and we still don't give in practice, we always disappoint, we always hurt, we always fight, we always, whatever instruction you give us, we still break, you still cannot give. The highest giving is the practice. Why? If you practice, you will attract even more sponsors. So if you don't have anything to give, you will attract sponsors. You will attract people who can give because they look at you and say, who's your teacher? How come you have so much knowledge? How come you're so good? Even our old friends say, how come you changed so much and now you're still like that? Huh? Why not? Of course they won't come to Dharma. Of course not. So you can give in financial means, you give in the most highest means. Both is better. Spiritual practice. Transformation. Even if you cannot give that, then what's left? What do you give? Why are you around your group? Why? You don't give, only take. So then you respect, people respect you, look, we'll all go down. And you will create the karma to go away. Even Lama wants you, cannot will go away. Why? You create that. So the sponsor can travel with the Rinpoche. We'll discuss about teachings, discuss future plans. What's going on. We'll escort the Rinpoche here and there. And also, anytime the sponsor sponsors anything, the Rinpoche will take the notice and read. Panan Rinpoche in the middle of teachings always read out everything that's been sponsored. And this lady from Swiss not only sponsored Rinpoche, she sponsored every teaching session, breakfast, lunch, and dinner she sponsored. In fact, if there's other sponsors, she said, please let me, please let me. They say, why? Because I'm old. Because I'm going to die soon. And I need to collect merit. She's okay in Switzerland, quite wealthy. So she said, no, let me. The people say, no, they take from far away once. I said, okay, never mind. If you need to cover, let me know, okay? I watched this. I was like, wow. So much humility and so much dharma. This is an ordinary lady. And she says, I don't practice much. I do my practice and I do my sadhanas. And she says, my main practice is to make sure my Rinpoche is okay. When her Rinpoche died, I did not see her. I know she'll be devastated. He died before her. Although she was older. Around the same age. In any case, and then people don't deserve the sponsor. There's this relationship. And the Rinpoche will announce, not the sponsor. The sponsors never announce what they gave, what they give, never say why. It is not their job. It is a job of their Rinpoches when it's all been established. So there's humility, there's practice, and you collect merits. And there's a system. So I try to do that slowly, but I can't enforce everything. But at least the Buddhistic principles I try to enforce. Tibetan principles I don't enforce. I'm not Tibetan. But Buddhistic I do. And the Lama has asked you, like that. He will gradually announce, he will gradually talk, he will gradually open up why. He will make sure everything's safe for you now and in the future. Just stay awake. He'll always make sure. He will think of you in his mind to make sure you're all right. You're all right. The Lama will never harm you. And the Lama asks you to find sponsorship for this project, instead of delaying, instead of being afraid, instead of thinking you can't, you don't do, don't want, avoid, don't update, don't do. The Lama is opening your ability to do that. The Lama knows you can. You may not know you can, but sometimes the Lama knows more than you. So the Lama asks you to do it. By hook or crook, do it. When I was in Los Angeles, when we bought food for Sovereignty, sometimes there wasn't enough money. I would top it off with my small salary. I wouldn't tell anybody. Why? It's to my group. It's very important. And money is a fact of life. Money is a fact of Dharma. There's nothing to be embarrassed and ashamed about. But never bring your Lama to the level that he has to beg or speak about it. Never. If the Lama asks you to raise funds for one thing, leave it at that and raise funds. And never let the Lama repeat to you, raise funds. Because why? He's opening that ability in you. And if you give funds to the Lama, if it's the correct Lama, I'm not saying I am. If you give, definitely the Lama will turn that around to benefit more people. More people that you can ever benefit in your lifetime. Sponsorship is a fact of life. It is a fact of life. It's real. Remember, iterate one more time. It comes from Lord Buddha, who started it with his begging bowl. And it's in every Buddhist country. Every Buddhist shrine, every Buddhist statue, like the Kamakura Buddha in Japan, everywhere is sponsored by someone. The Kamakura Buddha was sponsored by one shogun's wife who missed her husband so much, and she sponsored the whole statue in his memory so people can collect merit for him. The great Amitabha Buddha in Kamakura. That's it. So there's a system, there's a way of doing things, and the Lama will definitely do it. Remember, the Lama has a lot of things on his plate, so sometimes it takes time. And the Lama has a whole culture to find. a whole culture to educate, a whole system, and a whole new group. If it was in a Tibetan system, none of this would need to be talked about or explained. No need. Why? Everybody knows. It's cultural. 1,000-year Buddhism. But in another culture, Lama has to explain and talk and help and do it slowly. Why? So that everyone collects merit. Everyone is happy. Everyone knows how to do it. And everyone gets the benefit. That's why. Slowly, system by system. Every time you attend a Dharma talk, you learn something. Either method or Dharma. Every time you attend, you leave, you learn something. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's useful. That's my job.